know you're listening to All Elite Podcast. Boom.
And it is the worst podcast ever. We lied. Ow!
Frankie Terry, Scorpio Sky, Mark Daniels, Collective SoCal, Uncensored Or. I see you. I see you.
This is Isaiah Cassidy. I'm Mark Quinn, and we're Private Podcast.
This is the All Elite Podcast.
You're listening to the All Elite Podcast,
Which happens to be the worst podcast I've ever been on. I see you.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the All Elite Podcast right here on the No Holds Barred Network, your source for all wrestling podcast content and more. I'm your host, as always, the self-proclaimed greatest host and your owner and CEO of the No Holds Barred Network, Kyle Masters. I'm always joined by my co-host right here on the All Elite Podcast. She is a woman of many names. She's the EVP of Giggles, the Heartbreak Chick, the Queen of the Indies herself, Tiffany. What's up?
I'm admiring what you just told me.
Yeah, the new merch alert, which I didn't have it up here on my. No, I don't have it. I forgot to re-put it into OBS. But yeah, there's some new merch on Shop AEW. Just seeing it too. Like I only seen it like a half hour ago. That there's a couple of things.
I haven't really been on like Twitter today, but not as
on the Twitter.
The Twitter I haven't really been on, so I didn't even know that my boys have a new shirt
and shot glass.
Shot glass. I need the shot glass because the shot glass needs to go with the beads that Isaiah threw at me at an indie show. So that needs to go on the shrine. And I need the new private party shirt because I have to support my boys.
The shrine.
The shrine. Okay.
Yeah, this ain't water. Shot glass.
I love it. It's so cute.
It's so small. It's like a shot.
I need to have this so that when I see them, okay, because I will see them, all right, because we're going to go party, all right, because I'm invited.
So you're going to party with private party.
I'm going to come with the shot glass. Yes, I'm not going to be on their bad side. Absolutely not.
No. Hey, you remember at All Out last year, you promised that you were going to buy them their shirt, and you lived up to it. You went and seen them with the new shirt. They were happy.
I did a picture with them. I told them like that I was buying the shirt. That you know. So I make promises. They love me though. Glass. So I'm going to come with the shot glass, and now I have to buy the new shirt.
Yeah, it's a nice shirt.
It is. You know what? I like their original shirt the best. I really do. Yeah. I don't know. It's something about it that it's just, I just like the logo of it. It doesn't need to be. So now my question is, Quinn, I'm going to cut this and clip it. I'm going to tag him. But so now there's a new shirt. So I expect to see it bedazzled. Okay.
Oh.
I expect to see the new one bedazzled because when I saw him at House of Glory and the This Ain't Water shirt, he had it all bedazzled out, and I was like, can we switch? And he went to take his shirt off, so I was like, oh, okay.
Interesting.
So yeah, but yeah, definitely. So that is a must buy. Add to cart.
Add to cart. Yeah.
Add to cart.
I'm hoping for a sale to come soon because Mrs. Masters actually just got in a couple of Shop AEW stuff. She got the black hoodie, the B Elite hoodie, and she says it's extremely soft. So I'm gonna have to put that on the cart.
Like the one that we both have, or
no, this is just the full on just black, and it says B Elite in just like normal writing on the front with the AEW logo like really small at the end of it. You'll see it if you go on there, and it's got white strings. It looks really cool, but she says it's really soft.
No.
And
So.
she's seen. I think she said she got a new Kenny Omega shirt too, which is really cool. So, yeah. So I'm still waiting for mine. My Sean Spears Heartless T-shirt. I ordered it. It's coming in. Can't wait for that.
You guys are killing me. Like, take my money. Like, oof.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, is this a new Cody shirt? What? Okay, I need to stop. We're podcasting.
Shop later. But guys,
as we're podcasting, because
welcome to the let me do this way. All Elite Podcast, where myself and Tiff go over AEW each and every single week on the air. We recap Dynamite, kind of keep you guys up to date what's going on in the AEW world, and lots going on in the AEW world. Finally, we got a week with some news. We got a week with pretty solid Dynamite. I'm going to say it's probably the most solid Dynamite we've had in the quarantine era, I'm going to call it, that we've had so far. We've had the finals determined for the TNT Championship, which we'll get into in the show. And we got the big news that was said on this week's Dynamite that they're going back to live starting next week. So the rumor that we heard, I think it was around last week, that AEW was going to go live has come true. And starting next week, AEW will be back on live TV. Now, I don't know if it was said on Dynamite. Maybe I missed it. But I think they'll be going back to Daly's Place, maybe. I only say that because judging by the graphics. The graphics are in Jacksonville Jaguar colors, and they are doing that at the time when they were doing all this at Daly's Place. So that's why I think they're going back there for live TV. I'm not too sure. We'll see. But
I kind of like the layout that's going on right now, like what we're seeing weekly.
Yeah.
So that's kind of cool too. So even if they did it live there too, that'd be great.
Yeah. So starting next week, guys, we have MJF returning. Next week, he's going to be back on AEW TV. We've seen his videos of his quote-unquote injuries, which we'll get into what new injury he suffered this week, which is freaking hilarious. Also, one-on-one, John Moxley's going to go against Frankie Kazarian. So SCU back on TV, which is great as well. So we're going to have a one-on-one match between Kazarian and Moxley. I love that matchup. I think that's going to be a really good match next week. I'm looking forward to that. But the one I'm looking forward to the most, and this looks awesome, we have a tag team street fight going down next week. Yes, Kenny Omega and Matt Hardy, who they're touting as, I mean, Jericho has been saying it. He's, I guess, the new member of the Elite. I guess Matt Hardy is an Elite. I don't know. I mean, I've heard it a couple of times so far. Who knows? But he's teaming up with Kenny Omega, and he'll be facing Jericho and Guevara, who've named themselves Le Sex Gods.
I can't. Jericho gets everything over. I love it.
Le Sex Gods.
I'm with it. I'm totally with it.
How does the Inner Circle feel about that? Because that's like, they're not labeling themselves as the Inner Circle. They're Le Sex Gods.
Well, that's because Santana and Ortiz can't leave New York over here. So.
And I'm trying to think too that, does this mean that we're going to have another commentator next week? Are we going to get Cole Cabana on commentary? Is JR coming back? Is Excalibur coming back?
Taz maybe.
Taz
I don't know.
maybe. I don't know. Because, well, I mean, Taz would be in New York, right? I think he'd probably be stuck with them, like you guys.
Yes.
So,
stuck.
and then a fourth match actually was announced late after the show, or I think it was seen this morning. Cody Rhodes is going to go one-on-one with Joey Janela next week.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, that's a sweet matchup right there. That's that's an interesting matchup. I wonder if now they start, because we know the finals of the TNT tournament, is this going to start the build for Cody and Archer? Is Archer going to get involved some point in this match? Is Jake going to return next week? Are they going to be at ringside, closely watching Cody Rhodes and studying him? And you know what? I think we're going to get something next week with this match. It seems too weird to just be a singles match and nothing's going to get done in this match, or something's going to happen. But like I said, so the bracket is not exactly complete. That's the word I'm looking for. But we have the final set here. So as you can see there on the screen, guys, this is that's the bracket that's happened so far throughout this whole TNT Championship tournament. We now have Cody Rhodes and Lance Archer in the finals, with the champion to be determined at Double or Nothing. So that was when the championship final will go down. I've seen a lot of people with perfect brackets so far leading up to the finals. My bracket got ruined in the first round because I picked Sean Spears to go through, being the homer pick there. But yeah, hopefully your brackets are all going nice out there, because I love wrestling tournaments. I love them.
This is how I feel. This is how I feel about this.
Stress.
I can't. I don't know. I'm freaking salty, man. Like, I don't know if you've seen me tweeting last night, but even Queen of Any was feeling the same way that I was feeling, because I'm still going to preach it. We need to start building some new stars. And,
But Tiff,
what?
Tiff, before we go anywhere else, before we talk about Dynamite, before we talk about anything AEW related, anything more, I meant to do this a little bit earlier, but we're going to do it now. Guys, if you haven't seen, me and Tiff did start our WrestleForum podcast, which has been successful so far. We've had a lot of good guests so far. We had the recent one with All Elite Kyle. For you AEW fans that know about his Twitter account, he's an avid Twitter and Twitter of AEW, and he runs the Discord, an AEW Discord, which is really cool as well. We did announce on that podcast a huge announcement for the No Holds Barred Network, and I will let you guys in on that if you haven't seen it yet. Our official partners are Power Slam TV, and here's their quick clip for you guys to listen to. Check it out.
Are you looking for the newest and hottest in the world of pro wrestling? Then check out the amazing action on Powerslam.tv, the biggest indie pro wrestling channel in the world. Get over 6,000 hours of the best events from over 150 of your favorite promotions from 20 different countries around the globe. Brands like Progress Wrestling, Evolve Wrestling, Combat Zone, Defy, PCW Ultra, PWX, Over the Top, Shine, and hundreds of others, with fresh content added every day for only $5.99 per month. Get your free trial today at Powerslam.tv.
That's right, guys. Very exciting stuff from Power Slam TV, and we are officially sponsored here in the No Holds Barred Network, and they have given us a free code to give to you fans out there. Yes, just for you. You guys can use code NOHOLDSFREE at Powerslam.tv, and you guys can enjoy 1 month free trial on that site. It is an awesome app, as you guys just heard in that commercial clip. We are very excited to be partnered up with them, and we are very excited to give you guys a code. So please, guys, use the code NOHOLDSFREE so they know that we sent you, and enjoy 1 month free trial. And I know Tiff is very excited about this app, because being the indie queen, it's all about the indies.
Absolutely.
Which is the base of wrestling.
Of course. Again, like, you don't know who you're going to see in the indie scene that could come over to AEW.
Exactly. You could be watching Power Slam TV. You could be seeing some guy on there that's highly touted from this one company, and then the next week he shows up on AWT and be like, I watched that for free on Power Slam TV thanks to my boys and No Holds and girls. And No Holds.
Definitely check it out, because you're going to see people that even on Under the Ropes that we've interviewed. Mm-hmm. So definitely check it out. There's a lot of great promotions on there. Right. So I'm so excited. I'm planning something with Ray so we can do an episode of Indie Talks as well. So definitely try it. Especially if you're not familiar with the indie scene. This is a great way to get familiar with the indie scene. So
awesome. I'm excited. Yes. Some exciting things coming to the No Holds Barred Network, guys. So be patient with us as we grow on this journey to whatever this network becomes. Something bigger than it is, obviously, now. So, yeah. So, AEW going back to live next week. Very interesting. This was talked about as a rumor that they had all the tapings up to Double or Nothing. So May, if I'm looking at the calendar right now, like this week is supposed to be the last taping. They would have had next week's taping, the week after. They would have had 3 more weeks of tapings that they're now going to scrap. Not necessarily scrap, maybe take some matches from that. We don't know. Maybe they're going to be actually taking some matches from that. We're actually be watching those on TV. That they might pick and choose, and then they'll have to do other stuff live. You know, we don't really know what they're going to be doing until we kind of see it. And it kind of has been that way, which is great. It's good that stuff doesn't get leaked out as much. But I'm excited how they're going back to live TV starting next week. I'm excited about how they're going to format it. Are they going to, again, like I just said, they're going to completely scrap what they've done and do something new? Or are they going to kind of do it again, maybe? I don't know. We'll have to see what happens. But now they're going back to live TV. It kind of looks like we're getting more wrestlers that are coming back as well. So that's something interesting as well.
Yes, I'm excited. You know, I know we're not probably going to get like the storyline that was originally set up for Double or Nothing, but hey, you know, there's a lot. Listen, you know, every week's been exciting since, so you know, you make do with what you got. So
I mean, this is crazy because this is these have been unfamiliar grounds kind of for AEW. I know they're new, but this is unfamiliar for them because now they only have 3 weeks to build for Double or Nothing, and there's only one match. And that match we just found out last night.
Yeah.
And it's been tough to build for that because I think we would have had more matches by now if this virus and this pandemic never happened. So now that they're going back to live TV, it's kind of like, okay, now we have to start building for Double or Nothing. Like, we have to start next week. I imagine we're going to get at least another match or two announced for Double or Nothing starting next week.
Right.
Because all we have is the TNT Championship final. We don't have a match for the AEW World Championship. We don't know if they're going to have a women's match. Like, is Britt Baker going to get a title shot? Are we going to get a tag team title match? Like, is Hangman going to be able to still compete at Double or Nothing? We don't know.
Yeah,
Like,
there's a lot. We don't even know if the Young Bucks are going to, like, come back, and we just don't know. So I'm excited to see where we're going to go with this.
You know, Nick's being so vague because, like, on Being the Elite this past week, like, they were joking about him being on the shelf longer and all that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, is he injured and he's just making like he's just seeing the lighter part of the situation?
I think because he's got a newborn.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. I forgot about that.
Yeah. So I think that's why, like, you know, they're like playing it off. But could you imagine like some crazy crap that we get, the Young Bucks versus the Revival? Like
the Revolt. I think they're gonna wait for that.
Yeah.
I really do think they want like a crowd reaction. Like, they're gonna let them go and travel to New Japan if they're gonna open up new. Like, I don't know what. I don't really be keeping up with what's going on in Japan right now. If New Japan's been eyeing a opening date for crowds yet, so I don't know what's going on with them. I imagine they'd want to wait for a crowd reaction for the Revolt. The Revolt. I think that's what they're called. The Revolt to debut. We saw that FTR in the sky.
Probably you're gonna want that. I mean, you're gonna want the crown anyway. It doesn't really matter. I mean, like, again, like, thank God, like, they've been doing what they've been doing, and it's been great, and it's been working. But you're right. Probably, like, they would want to wait for a big crowd for this.
Yeah.
So.
It needs that pop. It needs that first initial pop for when they first appear on TV, for the people to go nuts. Hopefully, maybe till All Out. Maybe by All Out, they'll start doing events with crowds. Again, it's really tough to tell. You look at what's happening in sports in the world, like all the seasons that are canceling now. As of today, the Little League World Series is now canceled, which is usually a big event in July, August. So now, like, sporting events are taking it all the way up to July. So if you see the timeline, we look at where All Out is in September, it's really tough to see if they're even going to have a crowd then at that point. So it's one of those things that obviously they're going to be taking it day by day. Yeah. We'll see. But see. I'm excited for the Revival, man. There's still unfinished business with them. We've seen the history. Obviously, people seen the history in Being the Elite. There's the history with the Elite and the Revival. So there's story there. There's another team I saw a lot of podcasts talking about was they wouldn't be surprised if the club goes and signs with AEW, but signs a deal where they can work Japan at the same time. Signs that double deal where they can still go to Japan at first. Like, sign with you sign an AEW deal, but you go do your New Japan stuff first, where you do your unfinished business with the club there, and then you come over and you do the other unfinished business with the club that used to be the Bullet Club in AEW. So, right. And then that's that money, right? Like, Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson are family men. Like, they're looking for their families, right? And AEW would pay them, I imagine, a good amount that would support that, right? So, you know, It was one of the reasons why they signed that 5-year deal with WWE in the first place. They signed that deal to support their families.
If we could get like a one and done match, I'd be okay with that as well too. You
Yeah.
know, just come in for like the one match and you know, give us what we want and whatever. If you want to go to New Japan, then I'm all for it. If you want to, you know, have it in your contract that you can work New Japan too, and sign with AEW, like it's a great way. I mean, again, like we talked about this on Wrestle Forum, it would be great if we can see more crossovers with other companies, but I don't know if that's gonna happen now. Like, so hopefully one day.
Yeah,
Hopefully.
kind of like what Kenny and Jericho kind of have, because they're able to still go over and perform over there while still being with AEW.
Correct,
Similar contract almost.
Right.
So yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Well, again, back to the revival here, or revolt. We have to start calling them that.
Well, it's okay. We still call it like Santana and Ortiz, like
Yeah.
LAX or Proud and Powerful. So.
Yeah, that took a couple weeks for us. That was it was tough. But AEW Dynamite this week, very, very, again, like I said in the intro, probably one of the best episodes they've done in the quarantine era. It was very exciting. I loved the 2 championship semifinal matches. We had some good matches in between. We had my boy Sean Spears appear on TV. We had some.
The vignettes good.
The vignettes throughout the whole show were really good.
Yeah, like they're always good. I mean, we go back to like the first pay-per-view and we're like, yeah, these vignettes. This is all we always talk about it. Like it's just so exciting.
Promo team is so fire in AEW. Like they're so good. So good.
My goodness. But yeah.
And we opened up with we opened the show up with Cody, and another one of these opening of the show promos, which is so good. And I tweeted that's the one thing they've done right with this TNT Championship tournament. They've made every match feel like a big fight feel. Like I love the way they've set up every match. They do that like tail the tape thing right before with that like kind of like that epic sound that goes like boom. It's like sounds like a slow motion kind of sound, and it just they've done a really good job. Like for what they have, they've done a very good job with this tournament. And again, it gives me that big fight feel in every single match. And we opened up with one, and we ended the show with one. So we opened up with Cody and Darby, and oh boy, this match was good. It was very good, very well done. Like we know that these two can go at it and can produce a good match. It was the outcome that started a frenzy on social media and everything. People went nuts for.
Everybody went nuts. Twitter.
I guess I wouldn't say how the match ended. It was the result. Like what it says on paper, that Cody defeating Darby Allin is what caused a kerfuffle. I guess we can put it.
I was confused, man. I was so confused. Like, I was like, wait a minute. Didn't Darby just hit the coffin drop? And I get it. It was very slight. But this is what I said, right? I've been saying this for weeks. Cody's going to go and take it. And I'm going to be very aggravated because, again, we need to start building new stars. I'm sorry. I'm just going to keep saying it. I'm not going in a negative way. It's just, there's so many great people on the roster. And I love Darby Allin or whatever. And again, I understand the concept that it's like, okay, Cody can't challenge for the belt. But to be honest with you, and Kyle, I don't know how you feel about this. Cody and Archer do not need a belt for this match because the build-up's been so great between the both of them. I feel like you do not need the belt. I would have liked to see Darby and Archer go at it. Like, it would have been very interesting to see this big guy, right? And then you see Darby, who's this little fast guy, go at it. It would be a very interesting match to see. But so me, I'm salty right now.
So as much as I do agree with you. Like Cody and Lance do not need a championship belt to have a match. Although I was one of those people that agreed with the finish. I agree with it because in many ways, if you're booking Darby against Archer, that's not, in my eyes, that's not a believable match. You're kind of putting down Lance Archer if you make Darby win against Lance Archer, because you've built Lance Archer as this like guy who's just going to kill everybody. And if you build him up to that point and you just have Darby win, like what was the point of building Lance Archer up to that point? Because now I know Lance Archer is going to be the TNT champion. Lance Archer is going to beat Cody.
But at this, no. Well, see, I don't know about that.
No, he will. This is for sure being done so that Cody can put over Lance Archer, and that whatever is going to stem from this, Cody, I think, is going to go down a big spiral. This goes back to what Kyle was saying on WrestleForum. I think Cody is going to be turning heel. I'm on board with what Kyle said. I think this is going to be two major championships that he's going to lose that he thought he should have won, and he's going to go down a spiral. And I like what Kyle said about the whole Cody Rhodes thing, where he's going to leave, no one's going to know where he went. He's going to come back as this like asshole, and he's going to be known as Cody Rhodes, and he's going to be that heel. I think Lance Archer is winning the TNT championship. You can mark my words. I'll put money on it right now. He's winning the championship, 100%, 100%.
This is why me and Kyle always I love doing the prediction shows with Kyle, because I don't know, like in reality, yeah, Archer should get the belt. I don't think Archer's gonna get the belt. I think they're gonna put it on freaking Cody.
Cody knows he's a bigger star. He doesn't need a belt. He knows he's a big star.
Is Archer not a big star though? Then once again, like I said, someone like me who's seen Archer in New Japan or whatever are already familiar. Again, a lot of these names I already know, right? And I get it. The new fan that came over to AEW and just came to AEW and doesn't know the names that you and me know right now, right? We know that he came from New Japan. He doesn't need a build to me in my eyes because he's a beast. I've seen him in New Japan numerous times, right? So he doesn't need it, but I don't think it's gonna go. I think it's gonna.
They're not doing it just for you, Tiff. They're doing it.
I know they're not doing it just for me, but that's what I'm saying. But I really feel here that Cody's gonna get the freaking win here, and Cody's gonna take the belt, and I'm gonna get up from this podcast table and I'm gonna walk away because I'm gonna be.
They put too much stock in Lance Archer. There's too much they've done with him so far to have made him go this far and say, nah, you're just gonna lose to Cody Rhodes because he's the president. There's no way.
Okay,
that they do that. They're not that company. We're too used to that in WWE. We're not that company.
I understand that, but it's funny. Smart to Death Anthony said the same thing. He was like, this is such a WWE thing. He goes, yes, I can see Cody doing this. But our chat is flipping out right now with this conversation. So I'm actually glad we're getting a lot of comments in the chat about this because I need to read some of this stuff. So Brad's in the chat. Brad said Cody doesn't need the belt, but the belt needs Cody, right? So, and then even Conrad said, is Cody the biggest baby face, right? Ray said this is exactly why Cody's facing him in the finals, giving him the legitimacy, but I get it. Kilroy.
Ooh, Kilroy. Ooh, it's my boy.
He goes, I agree. Cody doesn't need the belt. Lance does to get him over with the fans. Lance can be the monster heel that people bounce off of for a year or so. But again, we did the same thing. We built up freaking Jon Moxley, right, as this beast, right? How many people are you going to build up in AEW to be, this big beast? And I get it. If they should put the belt on Archer, right? Because he's a new star, right? To me, he's not new, but you know what I'm saying? He's new in AEW or whatever like that. Cody does not need the belt. He does not need the belt. But again, if you want to bring new fans to come over, put it on Cody. But then we're going to go into the whole thing that the Elite is booking the damn Elite. And I love the Elite. I'm not being
but they haven't really.
I'm just salty because there's so many other people on the roster, and when are they going to shine? That's really what it is. And I understand the fact that it's you need to start putting belts on the Elite because that's where people are going to come for. But when are the new guys going to shine? I know Kyle
they're shining though. Cody didn't just bury Darby. They literally Darby had the match won, and he killed Cody. He kicked out of the Crossroads, which who's the last person kicked out of the Crossroads that you can tell me right now and you remember?
Darby is great. I'm not saying he buried him. I'm not saying that because he didn't bury him. They had a great match. And it's so much better this third round with them than the first match that Cody and Darby had.
That's what made it believable. That's what made me believe, okay, Cody going to the finals in a proper way. I would have been more salty if Cody had just won with the Crossroads and that was it. Because of the finish and how it went down.
No. Good.
Perfect way to do it.
It was a good storytelling match, right? Where we talk about this, about the storytelling. This is a very good storytelling match. What?
Darby's
Darby
so young.
Is young, but that's why
you don't want to push him too fast.
The fans love him. Same thing
that's fine.
With Jurassic Express too, the fans love him, and the fans were disappointed.
Which company does that though? Which company sees rides on momentum and does it and ruins it quick, so fast that it's long-term booking.
Well,
his time will come.
There has to be a medium. That's what I'm saying, right? Moxley, perfect with the belt right now.
Yeah. And you said it best too just now. The fans love Darby Allin. Wouldn't you want him to win the belt in front of those fans?
Well, if you're gonna put it like that, then yes, he should win it in front of the fans. You know, but like I'm just saying, like even though I'm home and I'm not watching it there, like I just feel that we should get more. I'm just saying we need a balance, right? And I just feel that this particular belt needs to start pushing new stars. And that's why I said, like, not that I don't like Cody, because I do like Cody, but I'm going to be salty if he walks away with the belt, because I really feel like, okay, here's another belt.
Salty. He's not winning.
I will be salty.
No, I mean, like, you don't have to be, because he's not winning. He ain't winning.
I'm telling you, he's winning this belt. I'm telling you.
Lance Archer's destroyed everybody. He's not winning.
I don't know.
That's not believable. Cody beating Lance Archer right now is not believable.
It's the whole thing. Oh, Cody can't challenge for the AEW title, but he can win this belt.
But they haven't said that once. They haven't said that once. They haven't.
I'm not saying, but this is what I'm saying. That's probably going to happen. This is the story that I think is going to happen.
If they would have mentioned that, if they had to mention that once, if Jericho or Siobhan or they made a promo about it, if one of them had to have said that, I would have been like, okay, Cody's winning for sure, because they've mentioned the fact that he can't go after the AEW title. But the fact that they've barely, if not mentioned it whatsoever, he is not winning. They're going to have a good match. Archer and Cody will have a good match. It's not going to be a burial. Archer is going to beat Cody Rhodes for that championship, because Lance Archer as a TNT champion and being this unstoppable monster with that belt, you're gonna want then at that point for guys like Darby Allin to go up and try to beat him. At that point, you make him a believable champion. You make him run through like hundreds of people, and I'd love for Darby to beat him at that point than beat him at this point.
Well, I mean, it's funny because Metal said in the chat that Archer is gonna end up against Moxley, and maybe Archer will be the one that takes the belt off Moxley. But yeah, again, like I said,
that's if he doesn't win.
But there's like, he's not winning.
I don't think AEW, again, why do we think AEW is this dumb company is going to book this way? They have done everything smart.
I'm not saying it's dumb. I'm just saying, okay, it's an opinion. It's the thought process that's
Where is this Archer against Moxley coming from? Where? In what world?
Now. He's saying in like 2021, he said.
Maybe eventually, but that's fine. They need to go those two head to head. You want those two to go at it. Why wouldn't you not want those guys to go at it whatsoever?
Of course, absolutely. But again, Archer does not need the belt.
What does it have to do with Moxley then?
Since the way that we have it set up right now, right? I want Archer to get the belt, right? It's either Archer or Cody right now, right? Right? I want Archer to get the belt, but I don't think that's going to happen. I really don't. That's all I'm saying. Me personally,
you're going to lose that pick in our pay-per-view picks. I know you're going to pick Cody.
You know, I love it when me and Kyle go into these fights about certain, that we can rub it into each other's face.
Hold up.
Like, and
fights.
What?
These are general wrestling discussions. I want to make that clear. There are fights like the people on Twitter that
we're
like.
We're not fighting. We're having no. We're not fighting. We're
fights of those people on Twitter that like quote retweet each other for like hours and then.
Disagreement.
Yeah.
We're having a disagreement.
I'm not gonna block Tiff now. We're just.
I'm done. Bye guys. Deuces. To the No Holds Barred Network.
Anyways, let's talk about the other championship match that happened, which was the main event. Awesome. So Dustin was in another main event. Dustin versus Lance Archer, who we were just talking about. But I think I was wondering how they were going to book this, because I said last week on the podcast that I think that Lance Archer was going to get DQ'd and they were going to do Cody and Dustin too because of all the response. Like how many people did we ask? Like, which match would you show an AEW fan, like a new fan, and what match would you show them? And literally 9 times out of 10 people said Cody versus Dustin. So in my eyes, I'm like, okay, this has been like the most heavily talked about match in AEW, one of the greatest matches of AEW TV. They mentioned it last night on Dynamite as well. I can see them doing Dustin versus Cody too. So I book this match this week as Lance Archer is just going to beat the crap out of Cody or Dustin Rhodes in spite of Cody. Like, beat him to the pulp, get a DQ, which there's a couple of things that happen in this match where I'm like, that's like treading DQ level. And I'm like, how would the DQ level in AEW is so great. It's such a big gray area because there's no like defined DQ level. If Lance Archer's able to rip off the turnbuckle and smash your head over, then I don't know what DQ is. There was the water bottle thing earlier too in the night too. I'm like, isn't that a weapon in some way? Yeah. Anyways, I thought they booked that match pretty smart. It was a good match. They went for like 20-something minutes.
Yeah.
Like, those two, I was shocked that went that long. Like, good for both of them. And the whole ending with the towel thing and it's continuity. You remember why, like, and Cody coming out with the towel.
Know why? I'm just saying, like, again, but
like, Lance Archer beat him to a pulp where, like, Cody's like, you're not taking any more abuse. I'm going to throw in that towel. And you saw MJF quote retweeted this yesterday. And I'm like, yes. Oh, MJ, they're doing the shit with MJF. I'm like, good. I'm glad they're staying on top of that. It was MJF. Corey tweeting, he's like hypocrite.
Brad wrote in the chat, Brandy was awful last night. She served no purpose. Don't you know? I actually saw Andy had tweeted and he was like, Brandy, Cody should know better that every time she comes out with him, she's always getting knocked out.
It's always those big fights.
She just needs to stay in the back. No.
You got to put a shark cage out there. Put her in that. She'll be safe.
Put her up in the air.
Brandy, this is for your safety. It has nothing to do with the match. It's just for your safety.
Yeah.
But it was weird because like she came out and she's like in a different outfit and she wasn't selling the injury, so clearly that match was taped on another night.
Yeah.
But then the ending of like just like him like ripping into his like bloody scalp and smashing his head over the ground, and then I'm like, what? Like they're making this guy like an ultimate like the whole everybody dies about him. He's literally killing everybody, and the way he destroyed Dustin is insane.
Metal wrote Brandy on a forklift match.
Yeah, Vince Russo isn't here to book that, bro. This ain't WCW, bro.
I'm done. I'm dead. I can't. You guys are funny in the chat. I'm loving the chat tonight. Thank you guys for like hanging out with us. Like.
But yeah, I love the way they booked that match. I was very impressed with that, and just you saw the way like Lance pinning Dustin and staring at Cody like with those freaking eyes and just like not taking his eyes off him. And you even saw even after the match, he stood up and was just continuing to stare at Cody as he got into the ring. Like, oh man, Lance Archer's such a freaking beast.
It's a good storyline. Like the way that they've been building this from the beginning is great. So like again, this is how you build storylines that they're so important to wrestling, and I love it. So this is one of my favorite things about AEW because I do love the story builds. It makes you really believe it.
So we have a finals, Double or Nothing, TNT Championship, Lance Archer versus Cody. Going to be interesting how they build it from here. It's going to be interesting how the result of that match happens. I know everyone is going to be tuning in now to Double or Nothing because of that match, because they want to see, are they going to go, which route are they going to take? Are they going to go with building the new beast, Lance Archer, or are they going to go into the predictable route of Cody Rhodes the champion, everyone getting pissed off? Maybe that's the way Cody goes heel. Maybe he wins the belt and he becomes this like arrogant guy with the TNT championship. You know what I mean? And everyone just hates on him because for some reason I feel like if there was crowd, like if they are doing this the same way while with crowd, Cody winning I don't think would generate the reaction that I think what people would think. Like I think the reaction would be like,
why?
He'd get
Cody
boos.
is a favorite though.
I think he might get boos.
Nah, Cody's a favorite. It doesn't matter. A lot of people love Cody.
I just judge it from the reaction on Twitter. There's a lot of people that were salty last night.
No, well, yeah, like he shouldn't be, in the finals. I'm sorry. I just again, like I said, I feel like these two don't need a belt for this match. It's too coincidental that we were building this before the tournament, right?
I agree.
Building the storyline, it's too coincidental. So that's why I think a lot of people are salty. But again, like I said, the build is great. The build is absolutely great.
You know what I think they should have done? If there was going to be Darby in the finals, Cody should have been on the other bracket. It should have been Cody and Darby in the finals, and Darby should have beat Cody. Cody should have put over Darby.
I was the one that's been saying this, that Darby was going to take this belt. It's more Darby deserves the belt. Like I said, okay, you need to, again, like a lot of people are like, oh, he's not new talent or whatever, but he's still, he's not like elite. He's not like well known. The crowd's behind him. I just feel that we need to finally put a belt on someone that the crowd's behind. Not that I'm saying that Mox, we're not all behind, but like Jericho was the first, and Rio and stuff. So why can't we have a fan favorite win a belt?
He will.
So that's
Eventually
not
he
the
will.
elite. So that's just my whole thing with it. But anyway,
The elite technically have only won one belt, and that's the tag belts.
Well, SCU had the tag belts, and then now we have Kenny and
So
Hank.
but that's what I mean. The elite have technically only won one set of belts in AEW. They haven't won anything else.
SCU is still kind of like part of them.
They're not. They won't come out with them. They're not part of that faction, though, Tiff.
But they came together because, again, if you watch,
But they're not the elite. They're SCU. They're not known as the elite. I'm saying like the elite is the name.
Yes, the elite is your main guys, but they came together because they traveled together even before in Ring of Honor in New Japan.
But the elite is 5 guys.
Yeah, I'm not gonna argue. Let's move
the
on.
The elite's 5 guys. So is Jeff Cobb part of the Inner Circle?
No.
Well, then he was with them at that one point. SCU was with the elite.
We're just gonna keep arguing about this. So let's just agree to disagree.
Well, then, speaking of tag teams. We had a tag team, I guess, no disqualification. Let's use every weapon in the house except the Titantron match last night. My God, my body ached watching this match.
Oh, my heart was going nuts with all the husbands floating around.
But ouch. I was saying ouch at a lot of points in this match.
Oh,
there were so many spots where I'm like, ooh, ooh.
This was a good tag team match. It really was. This could have been Double or Nothing tag team match.
God, if you include Jimmy Havoc in the same sentence as a no disqualification hardcore match, we got what Jimmy Havoc's all about last night.
Right.
That was wow. Like there was the one crazy spot I still remember is when there was the 2 chairs that were like on their sides and then connected in a certain way, and was it Trent that landed back first onto it? That made me cringe in my chair, and I could feel my vertebrae breaking just watching that. There were spots with ladders that were crazy, outside dives. Poor Orange Cassidy got a chair thrown at him.
Oh my God.
And he sold it so well. He just plopped on the ground.
Oh my God.
Oh, this
Orange
match
Cassidy,
is great.
man. I just want more Orange Cassidy. I can't. The spot where Jimmy Havoc got on his knees and pointed his fingers out, and then Kip kicked Trent from behind, and then
right, yeah.
I was like, oh my God, like it was so brilliant, like it was so different, right? It was something that you don't normally see, and it was like, oh, but like this is what Jimmy Havoc is all about. Here's another guy. Like I'm glad we're getting more Jimmy Havoc. We should get more Jimmy Havoc. We need more of Jimmy Havoc.
He even took some like brutal spots too. I'm like, ooh. I was saying ooh a lot through this match. Ooh. I was saying it a lot. And I'm trying to remember. There's the one cool spot I remember. Oh, it's Orange Cassidy on the outside with Penelope and him like ducking and moving out of the way, and then Penelope spearing Kip Sabian into the barricade, and then him doing his little lazy drop off the turnbuckle, which he almost slipped. But
maybe we'll get like Orange Cassidy and Kip at Double or Nothing.
Oh, something's gonna brew for me. I think they're gonna continue with these guys because they've been doing things with these 2 teams for the last couple of weeks here. So we'll have to see what happens. But or maybe in the next couple of weeks we get a number 1 contenders match and the winner faces. Maybe Hangman will be a Double or Nothing. We get a number 1 contending tag team match because I think Best Friends are number 2 if I'm not mistaken on the rankings last time I checked. So who knows? My boy Sean Spears had a match. I was excited for that, obviously being Niagara boy here. Sean Spears, my hometown hero. What are you laughing at?
Because I'm thinking about him doing his little twerk.
Oh, okay. The two glute salute.
Listen,
He called
that. Him and wifey need to do more TikTok videos.
Oh my God,
Every
him
time I
and
see a new one with him, I send it to
Yeah.
Kyle. I'm like, look, it's your boy. He's doing TikTok.
Him and Peyton Royce are hilarious, and my God, good for him for Peyton Royce. I'm just saying, like, oof. But yeah, Sean Spears. You know what's funny with him throughout the night? He was in that one corner on the heel side, and you could hear him the most throughout the night. He was hilarious.
Oh my God.
Like there was during that hardcore tag team match, you could hear him yelling at me. He's like, Penelope, get in there and help your husband out. Come on. Like he was just, he's great. And then he was like yelling at the face, like, nope, that was two. When like
Sean Spears is a star. Like I love him.
He has
like,
money. I don't know what some people don't see in him, man. The guy is complete money, and he's a great wrestler.
I like Sean Spears. He's
I
funny.
see a lot of people on Twitter are like, no, it's Sean Spears, boring. It's like
I'm behind him. Like absolutely. I got more behind him.
They're too used to the WWE side of him where they didn't push him. That's why they think he's boring. And
no, he's interesting now. I like it.
He's a great heel. I knew he was gonna be a great heel because I early on his NXT days. During they tested him out as a heel at live events, and I watched a lot of clips, and he played the heel, like the perfect 10 heel gimmick that he was running in live events was done so well.
I know, I saw it.
I knew he could be a great heel before, so him as a heel now in AEW is perfect. I love his Heartless t-shirt. Can't wait for that to come in. I'm gonna wear it like for every podcast. But yeah, he had a match against couldn't remember what the guy's name was, but it was
Barrett Block.
The guy
Black?
from, you said he was from New Jersey or something like that?
Yeah, I think because me and Ray were talking about him yesterday, and Ray's like, I think I seen him at SWF. We're not sure. I forgot to like look it up. It's weird. Sometimes like I feel like I've seen these guys somewhere, like if it was live or maybe something on an app. So there's so many wrestlers. I can't.
And I think the thing with Spears is people can't compare him. Like people will like, oh yeah, he's okay in the ring or he's just average. You know what he is a good wrestler. You just can't compare him. You can't put him next to like a Kenny Omega or next to like, I don't know, some fancy divey flippy wrestler. Like he's not going to be that way. That's not him. That's not his style of wrestling. You saw what he did with Cody Rhodes. They've had multiple matches and they were really good. Like he is a good wrestler, and I think he plays the character way. That's what makes a good wrestler too. Is if you can be a character and play a character to a T. The stuff he's done with Tully Blanchard has been great, and this is probably more biasm aside coming out of me because he's my hometown boy. But yeah. I think the guy is money. The guy is solid. So
we're biased, Kyle, because like we met him a bunch of times, and he's such a down to earth kind of guy.
Probably that too.
I think that's what it is. Me and Kyle are very biased. Okay, like he's such a nice guy. I've talked to like a lot of these wrestlers in AEW, and they're so down to earth. So I don't know. Like,
what else happened on Dynamite?
About Marco and Brody, like that. God. Like Marco died.
What's up with this, man? Poor guy. The guy he's had 2 matches on AEW in the last month, and he faced Lance Archer. Now he's got to face Brody Lee, and I'm like, come on. But it is what it is.
You know what? I give him props because he takes it like a damn champ, right? Right, like he tries and he goes in and he tries, and I mean I like Marco. Like I said, I've liked Marco since the indie scene, and I've seen him numerous times, and even like I was sad when like he broke his leg and all this stuff, but like he's really good. So I give him a lot of kudos, and he's a lot of personality, and kudos to him to be working with these big guys, man.
He got whipped around. Like it was like if Brody Lee was in there with like a pillow. Like he just absolutely destroyed him. And I will get props to Brody Lee for he's been amazing with this Exalted One character. The way he perceives himself, the way he makes his entrance in the ring, how he like just the little things like him taking off his hood and his stare, and the way they zoom in on the camera on his face, and he's played the Exalted One character to a T. And he's only been on AEW TV for like a month and a half. So props to him to like continuing to build this character even through this tough time, which is extremely hard, right? You can only work with who's been there. I imagine now that live TV is back and we're going to get more of the roster there, we're going to get some more good Exalted One things. So, we're going to get some further continuation in the build of this Exalted One. So props to him for that as well.
Love it.
We didn't have any women's matches this week.
No, I mean, like again, we had a lot of vignettes. I mean, we got.
I'll talk about the Britt Baker thing.
Like
Vignette was hilarious. Okay,
the makeup artist and oh my god,
she's a wrestler. She's a wrestler and she's a makeup artist. I guess she tweeted out or something, and she got a verified account with like 20-something thousand followers or something. Like,
Rebel.
she's well known.
Oh my god, I
the
can't.
one funny part of that promo though was when she got into her office and she had like the step-by-step thing, and when she flipped open the first sheet, her Twitter account, she was like, "Oh, how did that get there?"
You know, when she was talking about like when she was going about the snaggletooth thing, and I was like, dead. I was
Tony
like,
Schiavone, poor Tony,
my
he's
God.
getting picked on.
Fat people, suck it in. I'm like, oh my god. I was like, stop. Don't wear glasses if you're not a doctor. I'm like, stop. I was like, this
She's like photo editing him, making him skinny. Oh, that was priceless. That was so good. I love that. See, what they're doing with Britt Baker is perfect. This is how you build her up as a top heel in the women's division. Like this was perfect heat tonight or last night with like the fat people thing and like the teeth and the glasses and all that stuff. Like her just being so snotty about being a doctor, right? Like pulling the makeup art side, like, you got to refer to me as Dr. Britt Baker. They got to make sure you say doctor. Like that's amazing.
The facial expressions sold it all. So it was great.
It's just weird how they can do these, but like when she does like a promo live, she's horrible.
I don't know. Maybe because it's like, in, the office or whatever, and it's not a lot of people.
Yeah.
And again, like I talk about it that.
Well, AEW is not scripted, right? So maybe she's just not good yet at non-scripted promos. Obviously, these vignettes are scripted, right?
It's still new. She wasn't like week to week, not used to being on TV like what they're on now. So, I mean, I couldn't do it.
No.
Like I couldn't do it in front of a live audience. So I'd be petrified.
Yeah.
So, but.
And then we had the next episode, back by popular demand, the Bubbly Bunch back again, and we got
shirt.
Oh man,
you got to get the shirt.
Oh man, this week was great. I was dying at this, and I loved the way they were doing it. They did the whole. They were talking. They're boosting it. Like Sammy Guevara was boosting about his hand sanitizer and all that, and they were. They did this thing like where it's like where they said they would fight. What they call it? Manitoba melee or something like that, and they were all like
Coup challenge or whatever it's called. Is that what it is? Who is it? The coup challenge they call it. Like in reality, it's called the coup challenge or something.
Something like that. But they called it the Manitoba melee, and they they would do the punch thing, and then someone would react to it. And they did it with like other people. Like we saw lots of stars. Like I still remember like Vicky Guerrero was in there, Virgil was in there, the lead singer of Slipknot, his name always escapes my mind. The lead singer of Slipknot. Like there was a lot of cameos in this one, which was really cool. So I love the way they did it. Really well done. Bubbly Bunch just needs to keep happening because right now it's so hot, and it's for real. It's one of the reasons why people are tuning into Dynamite because they want to see the next episode of Bubbly Bunch. The Bubbly Bunch. It's hard to say. Say that 5 times fast.
I know it's great. I love it. I love that even like Jericho's getting behind it too, like doing all this stuff. Like it's great. But again, we need this little humor with everything that's going on right now.
Right. So well done. And I hope they still do it. They have to do more when they're all back together in person. Like we need more of those Bubbly Bunch segments. I hope that's like a thing.
Makes gold. At the end of the day, Jericho makes gold. Doesn't really matter. Everything he does, everything is gold. Anything he touches, like he made Sammy a star. I love that Ortiz and Santana are with him. Everything is just gold. So, let's talk about Moxley.
Oh yeah. So Moxley had a vignette. We heard from the champ, and besides the ending, and which was the best part, I thought this promo was very well done. This made Moxley into like he came off so good as like our champion. He comes off as like a top guy, and the way he talks and the way he delivers his message, it's so good. And I often compared to him as a Stone Cold type character. This guy, the way he's being built now is going to be AEW Stone Cold Steve Austin. He's going to be that top badass guy in the company. So they did a very good job with this promo. I mean, they let him just mention his wife, and then Renee Young mentions Moxley once, and she gets in shit. I guess she got chewed out for Moxley showing the dog on backstage. I guess the other week. I guess she got chewed out for that, and it's like, really? Like, anyways, the promo is really good. It's the best part right at the end. It's like, guys, don't forget, call your grandmother. Something like I said it wrong, but still, like, it was good.
It made you really feel even like wash your hands, whatever. Like, and then he was talking about that, like, we're all in this together, and you could tell that it just came like a lot from him, and I love it that we're not getting scripted, we're getting like real raw promos, and it was just very believable. It like made you laugh, made you smile, and it was nice. Like, you're breaking a little bit of character a little bit, but again, like, we need this, right? Like, we're all going through this together, right? So we need this. So it was nice. It like touched it, like, my heart when he did it. So very good. I wish my grandmother was still alive, because I would have been on the phone.
Like, sorry, Grandma. Moxley told me to call you. Just,
Grandma.
Who is Moxley? Is that your boyfriend?
So what about list of husbands now?
Is he on the list, Tiffany? I guarantee she know about your list. Anyways, sick promo. Something else happened on Dynamite this week. I feel like something did, and I can't.
Oh, Wardlow and Musa.
That's it. Wardlow. Yeah. This is funny. So Wardlow's got a lot of characteristics that reminds me of somebody. So they mentioned it, and it was in his little like name thing, that he's had his two matches. His last two matches have a total combine of like 3 minutes tops. And I'm sitting there going, okay, that's interesting. The look he has with his giant triceps and, big chest, I'm like, oh, that looks familiar too. And his finishing move is a airplane spin where he spins you around and drops you. I'm going like, who does this remind you of? Tiff, please tell me I can't put my finger on it, Tiff, but does this remind you of anybody? This looks exactly like Brock Lesnar. Like, oh my God, the match times, his finisher is literally almost like an F5. He has the Brock Lesnar look, and he does the shoulder shrug and his traps are literally like the same size as Lesnar's traps. I'm like, this guy's Lesnar, but like a better Lesnar, one that we know would show up. Anyways, but we had another him of destroying somebody. I guess, sure.
Yeah.
Whatever, it is what it is, right? They're just building him up as this beast that MJF hides behind, and he's MJF's protege, or is MJF Wardlow's protege. Mm-hmm. But I just get the Brock Lesnar vibes all over that, just because like everything's so similar. But the finisher is literally almost like the F5. It's so close.
Yeah, Kilroy said he even called it the F10 instead of the F5.
The F10. He does the shoulder shrug. I'm like, man, this guy's like young Lesnar. Anyways, I don't know. I like Wardlow. The guy's got a good physique. He's solid in the ring. I think this guy is a really good talent that they found in him. So we'll see how they grow him once we get all back to normal. Obviously, with what's going on now, we can only do so much with him. So
yeah.
It is what it is. Still a good episode of Dynamite, though, with all the vignettes, the TNT matches, the tag team match. I thought it was a pretty solid episode of Dynamite. Next week, we're going back to live.
Yeah, looking forward to next week.
Hey, they announced 4 huge things next week. Like MJF's going to be on TV, maybe. Hopefully, we'll see. Maybe he has a quote unquote injury. Like this week, he had a neck brace, and he had a shaving neck injury, so he had a neck brace on. But he said he recovered by his finger injury. So his nail is growing back.
Typical of MJF. He was just giving me flashbacks to the indie scenes with him. I swear to God.
Okay. And then we have Moxley versus Frankie Kazarian next week in a one-on-one match. We have that Les Sex Gods against Kenny Omega and Matt Hardy. And we're getting Cody against Joey Janela. And hopefully some furtheration with what's going on in that feud, Cody and Lance Archer for that title. So Yeah. It's good stuff. It's good shit.
Good shit.
Such good shit.
I can't.
You know what else is good shit, though, Tiff? Is if
What?
people follow us on social media. That's right.
Yep. Great.
Guys, make sure, and most importantly, you're following us on social media. Make sure you're following the network on social media. You are liking us on Facebook on the network, at No Holds Barred Network on Facebook, on Twitter, at NHB Network, on Instagram, No Holds Barred Network. Make sure you are following those for all network updates with other shows that are happening on the network. Make sure you're following the podcast as well. Show the All Elite Podcast some love. Make sure you're liking us on Facebook at All Elite Podcast. Following us on Twitter at All Elite Pod, and following us on Instagram at All Elite Pod as well. Guys, all links for our social media links are located down below in the YouTube description below. If you are one of those on-the-go listeners, thank you very much for downloading the episode and taking us on the go and listening to the All Elite Podcast. We thank you every single week. It's very much appreciated, so I'm showing some love to the on-the-go people. Guys, you want to take us on the go? You can find us on such apps like iHeartRadio, Spreaker, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Player FM, Deezer, CastBox, and more. Wherever you are finding the All Elite Podcast, make sure you are searching up the No Holds Barred Network, and you will find our podcast and many more podcasts located on the No Holds Barred Network. And as always, right here on the All Elite Podcast, we are thanking Darren of These Wolves, who we had on the first episode of Wrestle Forum. Got to know some more info and got to know Darren a little bit more, which was really cool. Guys, go check him out. Go check out These Wolves. They sing the song Dead to Me, which is the official theme song of the All Elite Podcast. So thank you very much, Darren, each and every single week for letting us use that song and many more right here on the No Holds Barred Network. And as I mentioned earlier, guys, we are sponsored by PowerSlam TV on the network. Make sure you go over to PowerSlam TV, your source for all independent wrestling network. Use the code NOHOLDSFREE, and you will enjoy 1 month free trial. Make sure you're using that code NOHOLDSFREE, NOHOLDSFREE. That's how you spell it, No Holds Free. And you'll enjoy 1 month free trial on us. So make sure you use that code and let them know that we sent you. Powerslam.tv. So, Tiffany, next week, since we're always live here. But AEW going live
we've been a lot
next week.
of great stuff. A lot of great stuff on the network.
And
Love it.
Pray that AEW doesn't have the problems that we get going live, because we've run so many problems lately doing live, and that's because it's the norm right now with live podcasts and live entertainment on YouTube and all that stuff. But we hope all you guys are being safe out there, washing your hands, enjoying what you can during this pandemic. We'll get through this together, guys. And I'm so excited for when we get back to wrestling with crowds, man. Definitely miss the crowds.
We need it. We absolutely need it. So,
other than that, that's all I got for this episode, Tiff.
Oh, I just want to bring up, because I know we briefly talked a little things about being the elite, but can we talk about the Cutler challenge?
Oh my God, yeah, I totally forgot about that.
The kick out challenge, I was dead. Like,
and Cutler wants to he wants to end his losing streak, so he started this Cutler challenge that he's gonna train breaking out at 2, kicking out at 2. And then he had the 2 local jobbers there from the Being the Elite episodes, and he's doing all these kick-out challenges, and he was kicking out at 2, and he's getting so, hyped about it. And then right at the end, they, do the whole, I'm going to line up behind you on all fours, and then the other guy pushes him, and then they pin Cutler.
Oh, my God. I'm tired. I was like, this is great. I can't.
Then we had the whole FTR thing in Being the Elite as well, so.
Let us up. Yeah. It was a short, But like I said, we did our boys' private party. What's going on with that? I like that we're getting a story, a little story going on.
Yeah, I'm glad that they're on they had a big segment on Being the Elite this week. They took up a lot of time, so that was great. I love that.
My boys, I can't. I love them. So.
My boys, I can't.
Can't wait to see them come with a shot glass, this ain't water.
Mm-hmm. Anywho, Rehu. Guys, that's going to wrap it up for the episode number 80, or 80th anniversary of the All Elite Podcast. Getting close to 100.
Oof.
We are located right here in the No Holds Barred Network, your source for all wrestling podcast content and more. I'm your host, as always, the self-proclaimed greatest host, Kyle Masters, always joined by my co-host. She's the executive vice president of Giggles, the Heartbreak Chick, and the queen of the indies herself, Tiffany Thank you very much, guys, for tuning in live here on YouTube, on Facebook, on Periscope, wherever you watch it live or you're watching it back or you're downloading the episode. Thank you very much for all the love and support as we grow on this network. Thank you very much for all that support from the bottom of our hearts. So, guys, that's going to wrap it up. Make sure you're washing your hands. Stay safe. We'll see you guys here right back on the All Elite Podcast next week. Take it easy.